cold email teardown, where I spent a little bit of time tearing down cold emails that either me or some of my friends have received over the last few weeks. Some of these I just can't believe people even actually sent. I can't believe they escaped out of their inbox. Somehow they must have snuck out, but let's try to do what we can to stop people from getting any emails like these ever again. This is, I think, incredibly important because people think that often this is a sales activity. I think that it's actually an activity that's good for everybody. People looking for a job, people selling an idea to a team, people trying to communicate effectively in a team. Effectively, writing is like permanently putting your thoughts out into the world. And it's very underrepresented skill that I think a lot of people could put more time into learning how to do more effectively. So, email 101 quickly here. If you take nothing else away from this, I would recommend you do 5 minutes of homework and customize your emails for your prospects. Nobody does this, or very few people do this. Those that do actually do stand out. I feel like I get blasted with probably upwards of 10 to 20 emails a day that are likely sent out to hundreds of other people in similar roles. So doing 5 minutes of homework and customizing actually does make you stand out. 2, check your spelling. Executives are really busy. In my peak, I was getting probably 300 to 500 emails a day. There's just no possible way I could keep up with it all. And one of my filters for how I cut out emails of people trying to cold email me was simply to look at the spelling. Did they get my name right? Did they get my company name right? So check your spelling, check your formatting. Number 3 is make it readable from mobile. So I have some tips on that a little bit later on. 4, make it easy to respond to or to forward to other people if they're not going to respond directly. And finally, 5, be polite but direct. Make sure that you actually have an ask in your email. So let's do some examples here. Over the last week, I had a handful of people email me asking me if I could do some edits of cold emails that they put together. I teach a class on this at the Ivy Business School and have been commenting on a few online. So I took a few from students that reached out to me and also some others that reached out to me online. So email 1. Email 1 is actually a job prospecting or job searching email. So this is from a student looking for a summer job. So the email reads, good morning to whoever they're sending it to. My name is blank. I'm an undergraduate candidate at a business school. I was wondering if there might be an internship opportunity in the LA area, ideally to return to full-time in 2020. I've got some experience here. I'm currently in the top 10% of my program. Here's my resume. If you have any thoughts or suggestions regarding summer opportunity, I'd greatly appreciate it. So not a terrible email, but I think there definitely is some room for improvement. So the first thing I'd recommend is write it for mobile. So I actually, when you're writing on a full window, you can see the email just beautifully laid out here. But what I recommend is actually tightening up your window to make it mirror that of a phone. So now you can see kind of what someone's going to read when they actually pull it up on their phone. So what's not great about this email? So the few things that I picked out were, on the readability side, I'm a little obsessive compulsive with formatting and periods and spacing. I just think the email should look good. So with respect to the non-capitalized letters, and just a few other tiny little sloppy things, I feel like that could actually be cleaned up a little bit. Not a huge deal, but if you're hiring someone for a sales role or say a consulting role where attention to detail is really important, so missing something like that just doesn't look great. So be safe, clean up your formatting. The main thing they're doing here is really asking without providing any value or context. So, here's why I think your company is interesting. Here's why I think I'd be a good fit, or the role that I might be a good fit for would be helpful for this person. The third one is, I think this second paragraph, the I've started and scaled a successful startup business, is more of a boast or a brag versus something humble. So I think that could be tweaked a little bit to feel a little bit more humble. And my main question is, who is it for? So depending on whether it's a hiring manager or maybe you're reaching out to an executive, you may want to cater that message to that specific person If it's somebody very busy, maybe you're actually asking them to forward it to somebody more relevant. If it's a hiring manager or something like that, you may change the email up a little bit. So I took a shot at rewriting it. Again, not perfect, but my shot at it would be something like, "Hi, my name is Eric Jansen. I'm a third-year student at Western." So right off the bat, you know exactly who I am. If I was applying for a job at, say, one of my companies, Intellityx, I've been following Intellityx and really recently saw that you closed a new round of funding and must be in a high growth phase. Congrats. I think this is really just an ego pump, and you're specific that you've actually put the time into researching their company. So I generally find that to be helpful. The second thing I'd want to focus on is, so I have a passion for events and a hunger to contribute to a growth stage startup like Intellityx in a sales role. But before I reach out to other companies, I wanted to check with you to see if you're considering bringing on any summer students. So here you're specific about what it is that you can contribute to a role. And I added in an element of time sensitivity, which is to say that I've actually chosen Intellityx for a reason. And before I pursue other companies, I thought it would be great for us to try to have a conversation first. So there's a little bit of time sensitivity there, which sometimes I find helpful. A couple last comments here. So it'd be great if we could set up a brief 10-minute conversation with you or someone on your team to see if there's a good fit. If you're not hiring, please let me know so I can pursue other opportunities. So this is a specific ask for a 10-minute conversation. And I know what I'd be getting on the phone for. It's to see if there's opportunities for this person for the summer. If it's not me, I'm going to forward it on to the person on my team who actually is responsible for doing the hiring. And it makes it easy, super easy for me to say yes or no at the end of this email. And that's really, as the person sending it, what I want. I don't want them to ignore me. I'd like them to either say, yes, actually I am hiring, talk to this person on my team, or no, I'm not, go away, in which case I can prioritize my time elsewhere. So, what if you sent an email like this to a potential hiring manager or company and they didn't respond? As I mentioned, 300 to 500 emails a day for a busy executive, sometimes more, sometimes less. If they don't respond, I'd recommend you send another one. And if they don't respond, send another one. And if they don't respond, send another one. This doesn't mean sending the exact same email or annoyingly following up. I call it being pleasantly persistent. So doing something to add value to your second or third or fourth email before you ultimately send sort of a breakup email and say, it sounds like maybe not a priority for you right now, I'm going to move on to my next opportunity. So pleasantly persistent, I think, is key. Okay. Email number 2. This is an actual prospecting email that I received over LinkedIn. I had commented on this publicly, and I just think it's a really bad, super generic email. So my name is blank. I want to steal 10 minutes of your time. Wanted to get feedback on the product I'm selling. Do you have time for a quick call? So bad for a handful of reasons. I told you already that I'm OCD, so the small t thanks is annoying. I have no idea what this person actually does. They want to steal 10 minutes of my time. I don't have 10 minutes for my wife for coffee midday. I'm not going to make 10 minutes up for this person that I have no idea exactly what they're looking for, what value I can get out of this call. So not a chance would I follow up with this. So what's wrong with it? There's an immediate ask with no clear value to me. It's an all-take email. There's nothing in it for me at all. This is an easy, super easy one to say no to. And this is incredibly difficult to schedule. Like now I've got to open up my schedule and tell you when I can find 10 minutes for a call. Like that's just never going to happen. So here's my recommendation for how to tackle a better version of this email. Again, I stick it on mobile formatting. One, I say, been following you on LinkedIn and loved your most recent post on cold calling. So amazing. Stroke my ego. Show me that you're paying attention. When I looked at your profile, I noticed that you invest in or operate in a number of businesses, including JM Security. So they've looked at my profile, they're following me or connecting with me on LinkedIn, and they actually looked specifically into the companies that are in my portfolio. So they've done their homework here. The second piece, I recently worked with another local home security company to help them improve their online brand and visibility, which led to an additional 100 inbound leads in 30 days. So this is my priority right now. We want to grow this young company. just improving brand or visibility doesn't mean anything to me. What I actually want is additional sales or leads. So maybe it could be improved here by showing the results in terms of sales, but 100 inbound leads with a similar company in my space, which is also local, in a 30-day time frame is really interesting to me. And then finally, if you have a few minutes later this week, I'd like to ask you a few questions and see if we might be able to achieve similar results for you. So really, this is not forcing something on me, but trying to see if there's actually a good fit. They give me a specific time in their calendar that I would then be able to check my calendar and see if that works. So again, the aw shucks, they've stroked my ego. They did their homework. They talk about specific results. They actually want to see if there's a fit, so they're kind of qualifying me, and they're specific about timing. Other things that are helpful here. If they actually did send that in an email or a LinkedIn email, or I saw them sort of follow me or like some of my content or connect with me on LinkedIn or on Twitter, familiarity helps. So if you connect with me, like some of my content, start engaging with me through other channels, and then send me an email, I'm more likely to respond because that turns the cold into a little bit of a warm email. Here's actually a really good one that I received recently, and I am not going to share her name, but I did call her out specifically and say this is a great inbound message. So she did start liking and following me. She engaged with some of my content, and when she connected with me and followed up and said, hey, thanks for connecting. So I did mention previously, we work with other companies that are like yours, and we've helped them achieve these types of results. This is how we do it. We use various advanced text analytics, and although they're not exactly like yours, I thought here's a case study that could show you exactly what we might be able to do for you. This was through LinkedIn. She wasn't specific about time, but that's okay. I actually asked her to email me directly because I wanted to forward it on to the people on my team that would be responsible for that. So I've got, I gave her my email on LinkedIn, sent the email to me, I forwarded it to my team, and we'll see if there's some interest there. But that was pretty well done. Another one that came to a colleague of mine, a contact of mine, that she thought was actually really good. So this person had filled out a form on their website and mentioned that she's got a client who's interested in an integration with their company. She wanted to reach out directly to sort of prioritize this. We're a company that does this, and here's the sorts of things that we do for the companies that we work with. Below is a link to my calendar if you want to set up a time. If you're not the right person, I'd appreciate an intro to whoever in your company is. So that is nice. She's specific. She's eager. She makes it easy to book a meeting, and again asked if this is not the right person, could you let me know who that is? So for a fairly high level person at this company, this person actually did end up getting that meeting booked. Third email here. The third email is, just give you a little bit of a scenario. This is someone who reached out to me on LinkedIn and wanted me to help them tweak this email. They work for a North American payment processing company. They do very large deals to high-level decision makers, and this person's role is they've actually moved recently from an account manager, which is kind of a farmer, so getting the most they can out of an existing account, to an AE, which is hunting on your own. And so the before was something like, hi, I'm Eric. I'm calling from my Payco and was hoping, I just made up that name, was hoping you had some time to talk about your business. I was looking to get a better understanding of how you accept payments today, and if it's a good fit to go over the benefits you'd see with a national accounts portfolio, when is a good time to speak? So, generic here. I'm calling from my company and was hoping you had some time to talk about your business. I'm already thinking, about what? I don't know exactly what you do. They want to get a better understanding of how we accept payments and see if there's a good fit. It's kind of a jumbled second sentence. I find it kind of hard to follow. Not exactly sure what we'd be jumping on the phone to discuss or what benefit I would get. And then, again, makes it very difficult to schedule a time. I'm probably not going to open up my calendar to look at this, and not asking for me to forward it to somebody. So good that it's brief, but it's kind of a jumble of content, non-specificity, and just making it generally hard to actually pick a time to book a meeting. So my after, not amazing, but my first try at it is, Eric, we help e-commerce businesses, I just picked a vertical, move customers through the buyer journey more quickly with streamlined payment software. Again, not exactly what this company does, I just made it up. But I wanted to be clear about what is the value proposition that we actually do. So super tight, very like concise, first 100 characters, first 100 words, almost tweetable, very clear. Then I jump to real metrics from a specific customer. Again, totally fabricated here. But we recently helped Shopify achieve a 30% increase in monthly sales by eliminating extra steps in their payment processes. So who did you work with? Maybe name drop somebody, and then specifically what it is that you did for them. A few emails ago that I showed you, that lady included a link to the case study, which was, I didn't end up actually clicking on it, but just the fact that she was willing to share that information was good. So if they had a case study that was relevant here, they could potentially share. I'd like to share the case study and explore if we can help you achieve similar results. So this is similar to the effect of want to see if we're a good fit to work with one another, and I'm offering to give them the case study or give them something of value. So again, you could include the link right in the email, or if they're willing or want to hear back from you, then they could follow up and get the case study directly from you. And then how would Thursday at 10 a.m. work for a 10-minute call? So I want to let them know that it's not a huge time commitment, and 10 minutes essentially could be worth a 30% increase in sales. Those are the results that we've achieved for other customers. So little before and after there. The last email I want to show you is actually a referral request that I think was done really well. So a student of mine was engaging with some of my LinkedIn content. He was looking for an intro for his girlfriend, who is a fellow Ivy student and wanted to work at such and such company. He mentioned that she's been an early user. She was in high school. She actually used the product and had some success with it. She actually had tried reaching out on her own with some sort of cold email or cold call and hadn't heard back, and wondering if I'd be willing to make a connection because he actually did the homework and found out that I was connected to somebody on LinkedIn. So generally what people are going to do when they get an email like this is just flip it, forward it right to that person. I don't want to rewrite another email. I'm probably doing it from the road. So that's actually what I did here. I just forwarded it to the email, to the person that he was asking for an intro to. And I simply said, are you interested in an intro? He could scroll down and read the context of the email and wrote back a day later and said, yep, sounds great. I'm on the road, a little hectic, but I can find a time in the next couple of weeks. Hope all is well on your end. So warm intro is always the best way to do it, but write it in a way that it makes it easy for the person just to forward that email on to the person that you're trying to reach. So only 4 quick examples. Please, hopefully this is the beginning of the end of lazy emails. If you would like to get your email critiqued, then send me a message, maybe just post in the comments. I'd be happy to review a couple a week. Maybe we'll post them publicly if people want to see these cold email teardowns.
If you want to find more about the courses that I teach at Ivy or get on lists to learn more about these types of teardowns, you can learn more at hustleandgrit.ca.